Wait, so is this?
No, not the napkin, sir.
Don't eat the napkin, Marcus.
With this list, we look at the top 15 most extravagant restaurants. These world-famous restaurants are known for their incredible food and good atmosphere, and also for hefty prices that go with it.
Wow, look at these prices. Yeah, these are pretty cha-ching.
SubliMotion, Spain.
I'm going to Spain? Well, your energy would be perfect for this.
Opened in 2014 on the Spanish island of Ibiza, SubliMotion is so much more than just the world's most expensive restaurant. It's dining at its most surreal, futuristic, and thought-provoking. With its own musical menu, choreographed service to match, and groundbreaking technology to awaken your senses one bite at a time, a meal there is anything but ordinary. At over $2,000 per person for just a few hours of dining, you know this is an experience only the very wealthy can afford. If you somehow want to blow your savings on the experience, you can expect a 15 to 20 course meal based on the art of molecular gastronomy. Not only that, but this sensory experience marries the meal with music, visual stimulation, art, and high-tech headsets.
You know, this was the fanciest restaurant in Quahog when I was a kid.
Aragawa, Japan.
Here, let me show you how to take care of these bad boys.
Despite being featured in Forbes magazine in 2006 as the world's most expensive restaurant, Aragawa surprisingly doesn't show it off in its decor at all. It's even located in the basement of a Tokyo office building. Forget about a grand entrance. If you like the finest steak, Aragawa could be one to put on your bucket list. If, of course, you find yourself in the Shinbashi district of Tokyo. You would think the price alone would make it relatively easy to get a table, but think again. It can take months or longer to get a reservation. The reason is the Wagyu beef, which comes from just one local farm. The process to raise the Tajima cattle is long and painstaking, resulting in high prices. But one thing is for certain, no one who has ever tried it has said it wasn't worth the price.
It's up to us to help them cook up into happy, healthy steaks.
Maison Pic, France. Following in the footsteps of her famous chef father and grandfather, Anne-Sophie Pic is continuing the tradition of high-quality, multi-course dining in the heart of Drôme, France. As you can expect from a Michelin 3-star award-winning restaurant, the menu is mouth-watering. From squab and candied turnips to banon goat cheese beringot and melt-in-your-mouth chocolate desserts, it's an experience you'll never forget. And neither will your bank account. This restaurant may not be as extreme or extravagant as the other entries on our list, but Maison Pic does create some of the world's best dishes, and it is at the forefront of the culinary world. Translation: you'll have to pay a pretty penny for the meal, but the experience will be one of a lifetime.
What is it that you really like to do? Eat.
Restaurant Gordon Ramsay, London.
This restaurant is so fancy.
Ever since the 1990s, Gordon Ramsay's restaurant has been an icon on the London restaurant scene and is one of the few restaurants in the UK to hold 3 Michelin stars. When you visit this modern French eatery, you should expect to indulge in some very refined dishes, all courtesy of Matt Abe, the head chef. Anything from pressed foie gras with smoked duck and wild strawberries to roast pigeon with fennel, apricot, and almond, all of the highest quality, of course. Obviously, such an elegant dining experience will not come cheap. When you factor in wine, tip, and other additions, you're still looking at around $500 for a meal for 2. And it is one of infamous Chef Gordon Ramsay's restaurants. That alone is something to tell your friends when you return home. Unless, of course, you happen to meet the famous TV chef himself and get shouted at. Although we're sure that costs extra.
Does anybody have a problem with that?
Ithaa Undersea Restaurant, Maldives.
You time!
Sitting more than 10 feet below the surface of the Indian Ocean, surrounded by sea life and coral, you have to enter the restaurant via a spiral staircase. This small venue accommodates just 14 guests for lunch, dinner, or cocktails, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it adds to the intimacy of the dining experience. Expect mascarpone and truffle dumplings, lobster carpaccio, and agnolotti of duck. Considered one of the most beautiful restaurants in the world, you won't have an easy time getting a reservation. But when you finally do, it's considered an experience unlike any other.
Sal, I'm feeling hungry tonight.
Ultraviolet, Shanghai. Utterly excited! Ultraviolet is a restaurant which only has a single table, meaning only 10 people can dine there each night. But the small and intimate dining experience isn't the only thing that makes this restaurant incredibly exclusive. On top of that, eating your dinner at this unique and futuristic restaurant will cost around $900 per person. Combining a science lab with a Michelin 3-star menu, Ultraviolet is a high-concept restaurant that dispenses avant-garde figurative dishes, served at a secret location in a neon-lit steel bunker. Chefs precisely monitor the timing of courses to ensure that your 20-course fixed meals are delivered at the right moment. One thing Ultraviolet likes to play on is the sense of illusion, meaning sometimes your food might not always be what it seems.
Waiter, there's an eyelash in me soup.
Oh, my dear.
Masa, New York City, USA.
Do you like sushi?
Masa is not just expensive, it's often considered overpriced and simply a chic hangout for Hollywood A-listers and fat cat businessmen. It's a Japanese sushi restaurant opened by renowned chef Masa Takayama in 2004. Expect to pay $45 for a single scoop of ice cream, $240 for maki rolls, and $60 for grilled scampi. What's the draw? The food is good, but really, it's the company. This is the restaurant for the 1% of the 1%. And while it may not be a luxury most of us could afford, this is a regular hangout for the rich and famous. The other quirk about this restaurant, if seeing celebrities isn't enough for you, is that this is one of the restaurants leading the way in the not tipping trend. That's right, although this meal will cost you a big chunk of cash, at least you won't have to worry about tipping afterward.
Hi everyone! Today we're going to make snack sushi.
The French Laundry, California, USA.
No, I can't do it. I'm not French. And I'm not eating that.
The French Laundry is a fixed-price restaurant located in Yountville, California. This high-end eatery has a new tasting menu each day, depending on what's in season and what can be acquired fresh by the chef in order to cook up for guests that night. Because this restaurant is a fixed-price restaurant, visitors are going to pay the exact same amount no matter what or how much they choose to eat off the tasting menu that is offered up that day. So what's the price to eat at this upscale French restaurant? First, you must make reservations on the first of the month 2 months in advance. Then, pay a hefty fee of $325 per person, plus extra for wine.
We've been drinking wine all day.
Alain Ducasse at the Dorchester, London.
I'll let you get back to your,
Elegant dinner party!
We once again head across the pond and go back to London for more British modern French cuisine. The Dorchester is also holder of 3 Michelin stars ever since 2010 and has been a landmark for ages. The menu offers meals made with British and French ingredients of the highest quality, with a special focus on seafood and seasonal vegetables. However, this restaurant is double the price of other famous London eateries. Located in London's famous Dorchester Hotel, Alain Ducasse serves exquisite food to diners with deep pockets. The black truffle menu is a 7-course meal costing $343 a head. But if you want to slum it, you could try the a la carte menu. For $136 each, you get a starter, main course, and dessert, service charge not included.
Oh, Mickey, this date is so romantic.
Le Pré Catelan, Paris, France.
Excusez-moi?
Cheeseburgers that way.
Cool, thanks, man.
Le Pré Catelan is a high-end restaurant located in Paris, France. This restaurant serves up uniquely crafted gourmet dishes made by Chef Frédéric Anton. The prices for each dish vary, but most of them are going to run the visitor at least $100. Meanwhile, the desserts, made by Christelle Brua, are a little more on the reasonable side at around $45 per dish. Each of Chef Frédéric Anton's dishes is a variation on a theme, such as l'os à moelle, bone marrow prepared two ways, one peppered and the other stuffed with porcini and cabbage, both braised in a concentrated meat juice. This is truly luxury dining.
Why, thank you, Gorkon.
Restaurant Crissier, Switzerland.
Dinner is neutral ground. This table is Switzerland. Let's eat.
The fine dining establishment of the late chef Benoit Violier and his wife Brigitte, Crissier is highly ranked by all who eat there. Located in a gorgeous setting of breathtaking mountains and lakes, the restaurant is staffed by a team that makes everyone feel like royalty. Crissier offers a wide array of dishes to suit many palates. Roast saddle of suckling lamb, purple sea urchin, duck foie gras, and wild turbot are all on the $375 menu. If you're in a hurry, you can get a quick lunch for just under $200 per person. Well, that's good to know.
You want to just order?
Thank you.
Chef's Table at Brooklyn Fair, New York, USA. Chef's Table at Brooklyn Fair is a high-end eating experience where visitors are given a tasting menu that features a gourmet selection of Japanese-French fusion cuisine. The experience lasts 2.5 hours, but eating all this fine seafood is definitely not cheap. Without including the price of your drinks, eating at Chef's Table at Brooklyn Fair will set a visitor back close to $300. The prices in New York, especially around Manhattan, have increased over the last few years as even the mid-range restaurants want to attract the rich and wealthy. While many of these restaurants are serving up much of the same, Chef's Table at Brooklyn Fair is definitely worth the trip and the price, as it offers a menu and experience that is different from the rest.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Misoguigawa, Kyoto, Japan.
Order up. Hope you like it.
Misoguigawa blends two types of cuisine, French and Japanese kaiseki. The result is a truly original and exhilarating experience for lovers of either cuisine, and the rave reviews across multiple food blogging sites backs that up. If you're feeling extravagant, you can try the more expensive $270 per person menu, but you must call and reserve at least 5 days in advance. On the menu, beef fillet with potato soufflés, buttered French beans, and roasted pumpkin. The restaurant, opened since the early 1980s, occupies a century-old former tea house on Pontocho that once belonged to a geisha. The building is steeped in Japanese history, and the food is at the cutting edge of modern cuisine.
What are you talking about? Oh, this is amazing.
Wow, you're a really good cook.
I wish my mouth was bigger.
Narisawa, Tokyo, Japan.
Oh. Damn, this chicken is good.
Narisawa is located in Tokyo, Japan, and is among the top restaurants in Asia. The restaurant is fairly small, and being so popular has made it a top destination for foodies that really want to experience the best of the best in Japanese cuisine. The fact that this restaurant is so expensive has definitely not put people off from making reservations. Narisawa serves a set menu each day based on the chef's specials for that day. The menu changes depending on what's fresh and in season and what the chef has chosen to make, but changes can be made for things like allergies. Dining at Narisawa will set the visitor back about $350 per person, and that is the economy menu. However, if you find yourself in Tokyo and the price tag doesn't put you off, eating at Narisawa is a once-in-a-lifetime experience that you will remember for a very long time.
Oh, what was that?
They're just greeting us.
Oh.
Plaza Athénée, Paris, France.
Croissant, café.
Café croissant.
C'est bon. La la la.
another restaurant tied to esteemed chef Alain Ducasse, and this one is just as extravagant and expensive as the other one, Plaza Athénée. Although, even if it's located in the city of romance, we're not sure you're going to love the price. For starters, the dining room is a work of art itself. With glimmering chandeliers right above your head as you're eating, you'll be enthralled by the glamour and the expansiveness of the location. With a menu consisting of rare ingredients, most dishes will cost in the $300 range. But the most unique selling point, and the reason many people choose to visit this restaurant, is the man himself. Alain Ducasse is a pioneer in fine dining and was, in fact, the first chef to ever hold 3 Michelin stars in 3 different cities. To dine in one of his restaurants is the high point of any foodie's life.
What was that?
It was delicious. I want another.
Well, you could have just said so.
I just did.
Hungry for more? Just tap or click for more great videos. And hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to join our notification squad.